with everything that's been going on around DC for the last few years, you could say that it's been a topsy turvy, up and down soap opera roller coaster of love and hate and confusion. And just the biggest thing to describe it is just like disarray for the DCEU that we've been knowing since its inception in 2013, all the way leading up until where we are in 2023. Yeah, you could say that because that's exactly what it's been. And since I started doing YouTube back in 2016 up until now, my I guess you could say my video that made a lot of people see Jody's Corner was the review to the BVS movie. It was a BVS rant that I put out, a 2-part movie review that I put out on my phone with no edits because I didn't know how to edit. So I was just like, screw it. I just recorded myself and uploaded to YouTube from my phone. I didn't have a computer. I didn't have anything. I just had the passion and the will and the desire to share my opinions of the movies with people. You know, just to get it out there. You know, I felt inclined to do so because I love doing it. And that review turned out to be the lightning rod for a lot of people to get to know who I am, subscribe to my channel, or just know of me. Because when BVS came out, a lot of people left that theater thinking and feeling a type of way that they didn't think that they would feel. Because when BVS was announced who would want a Batman and Superman movie, everybody was excited. But after watching the movie, people had problems. And I voiced my problems. And then, you know, I had an issue with the future of DC and where it was going. I made a lot of countless videos about it, reviews, discussions, anticipatory videos about what I feel like the future of DC is. Patty Jenkins comes in and really changes things for me. Shows DC that, yo, it doesn't have to be gloomy like the Snyderverse that she was a part of. But there are ways to move forward and push jovial, lighthearted stories. And I was 6 years against a very toxic, very combative Snyderverse fandom that I believe, looking back on it, we could say is, you know, the past. But there was always one thing that I used to say about, you know, people would be like, yo, when you talking about the Snyderverse isn't the way. Well, Snyder's making the movies, Jody. You better get with it or get going. And that was a good point to make. But what I was saying was I can't wait for the future of DC to change up, because what I seen what Wonder Woman did in 2017 was totally different from anything that I had seen from the Zack Snyderverse. And I knew that ever since they announced that a Flash movie was coming, they wanted to do the Flash because, you know, they were trying to build to the Justice League and beyond. I knew that Walter Hamada and that idea that he came up with Flash, I instantly said in my head, Flashpoint. You know, the Justice League did bad. It only made $650 million worldwide. It was a flop. People are up on Zack. A lot of them are down on Zack. People just didn't like DC. Their media, their PR, their image, their brand worldwide, the recognition of it wasn't good. It was negative. Really down on DC, everybody was, outside of the fanboys and people who were in the Snyderverse. I was down on DC, so. But there was something that I saw. The Flashpoint movie, The Flash was always the key that could help turn this universe around and actually make it cohesive. I believe that Patty and Giles' Wonder Woman saved the DCEU, and we can look back and see that DC made implement changes based on the performance of Wonder Woman, showing that we didn't have to make dark, brooding type of movies to be successful. People wanted Wonder Woman. They didn't know they wanted Wonder Woman until they saw it. It was a breath of fresh air. Like, yo, this is actually good. This isn't nothing like that Snyderverse type of movie. And that is what saved the DCEU and let them continue to push forward by changing up the narrative of darker doesn't mean better. Now, don't get me wrong. Does darker mean better for certain characters? Yeah, absolutely. A darker Batman story could work out. I mean, there's even a dark version of Wonder Woman that could work out pretty well, but, you know, we had enough dark. And I see that the Flashpoint story is a story that does have some darkness in it. It has some light in it. And it's the perfect type of movie knowing the Flashpoint story. I think, you know, if Patty and Gal in the Wonder Woman 2017 film could save the DCU from utter dismay, because I think, obviously, if that film flops, it's a wrap. They're just pulling the plug. Flashpoint is saving the DCEU narratively with its story, taking out certain movies, erasing the Snyderverse from canon, and instituting a new DC. That was my prediction ever since I heard it in like 2018. I think I've been predicting that the Flashpoint was going to wipe away the Snyderverse and move into a new universe and reset the DCEU into something new, going in a different direction. And James Gunn himself, and a lot of you guys have been saying, Jody, you've been saying this for so long. How long do we gotta wait? I said, Flash ain't out. Flash, Ezra Miller is a bad actor. He's a terrible person who is in trouble, who've done horrible things. I don't think he should be the Flash anymore. Obviously, he's fired in my opinion. But his movie kept getting delayed, so we haven't been able to see that reset. Well, it's coming. This is February 1st. We're 5 months away from the release of Flashpoint. We're gonna see it. And then James Gunn, who came and got hired, took to Twitter and he put a video out that explains what his intentions are. Let's take a listen again real quick, because I didn't catch this yesterday, guys, but I'm catching it now. He's going to confirm the prediction that I made about Flashpoint resetting the DCEU. Finally, it has been said for the first time, and we're going to go ahead and take a listen. So as many of
you know, DC has been disconnected in film and television for a long time.
You said, as you know, DC has been disconnected for a long time.
It's one of, you know, our jobs, mine and Peter's, is to come in and make sure the DCU is connected in film, television, gaming, and animation. That the characters are consistent, played by the same actors, and it works within one story. And if something is outside of that...
Here's something really important. Here's where Snyder fans, you know, you have your segment too. You're not left out. You'll always have your Zack Snyderverse, and it's going to be considered in what he's about to say, Elseworld.
Like Matt Reeves' Batman or Todd Phillips' Joker or Teen Titans Go, that it is clearly labeled as DC Elseworlds, outside of the mainstream DCU continuity.
That's where the Zack Snyderverse will lay. Right there with Batman and Joker, like you said, other IP, but it won't be considered in the main universe. This is what I've been saying.
Now, Peter and I have gotten pretty lucky in terms of the 4 projects that are coming out over the next year. First, we have Shazam, Fury of the Gods. Shazam has always been off kind of in his own part of the DCU, so he connects very well.
He's basically saying Shazam doesn't mean shit.
That moves directly into The Flash, a fantastic...
Now he's talking about The Flash. He's going to say he liked it. I know people who have seen it, two different versions of it, and both of them were good.
Movie that I really love that resets the entire DC universe.
What was that?
Well, that moves directly into The Flash, a fantastic movie that I really love that resets the entire DC universe.
That, my friends, is what you call justice. Or this is the retirement. JODYSDAMUS! I got to say that, y'all, because I've been talking about that. I've been talking about that for 4 years. So to hear him say that, really, it makes me feel good to know that it's coming, it's happening. And that's been a prediction long foretold on this channel. And, you know, pushed back against, you know, like, what are you talking about? Flashpoint, resetting, wiping stuff, altering universes, making worlds, Flashpoint was the catalyst to doing it. Flash is going to do it. That's why that character is very important. So what does that mean for you? Everybody who's been a DC fan for the last 10 years and has been consuming media, I believe has a share of stake in the future. I don't want to just segregate against Snyder fans like, oh, y'all suck. Even though most of y'all do. Some of y'all don't, though. Y'all suck. Y'all don't deserve nothing. Y'all got those movies. Y'all got the Snyder movies. And y'all got a nice little catalog there. And it has a segment with the Batman. Stuff like the Joker. People who have watched the Joker back in 2019 who don't really watch comic book movies but are Joker fans or Batman fans, there's a segment in there for you as well. The Batman. Not my personal favorite. That's not my Batman. My Batman is the Batman that he's working on for the DCEU. It's another prediction I made. Hell no! Come on, bitch. Why y'all do me like that? There'll be 2 Batmen, which is dope because Robert Pattinson's Batman just doesn't foot the bill, and I can't see that character alongside a Justice League team. With that being said, Batman fans will have that Batman Matt Reeves universe Elseworld to go off of while we get a prime universal DCU Batman story. But I don't really like that it's Damian Wayne, but it is what it is. Maybe that's going to be another video. But Flashpoint has come. Flashpoint will reset the DCEU into the DCU, the DC universe, and we are going to get a Superman movie. We're getting that Batman movie. We're getting a Supergirl movie. A lot of things. I'm going to be following these things. Subscribe to Jody's Corner. I will give you all up-to-date news on what's happening with the DCU moving forward. And I really hope that Snyder fans, Joker fans, Elseworld fans alike, everybody, DCEU fans, Universe fans, comic book fans, hopefully now we can finally get together and be one and move towards the future, because it's really all about DC at the end of the day. Put your hashtags in social media, DC Rises. Hashtag DC Rises, guys. Thank you guys so very much for watching. I'm Jody Joe, and I'm out this thing. Deuces.